Welcome to the Influential Personal Brand Podcast. This is the place where we help mission-driven messengers just like you learn how to build and monetize your personal brand. My name is Rory Vaden, and I'm the co-founder of Brand Builders Group, a Hall of Fame speaker, and New York Times bestselling author. And this show is to help experts learn how to become more wealthy and well-known. I know you're going to love it. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. There are three key components to a world-class presentation, and most people don't even know what they are. So let me walk you through it. The first one is your content. The content of your presentation is the base. The second one is the charisma, and the third one is the circumstance. I'm going to explain each of them to you in detail. So first there is the content. The content is the basis of your presentation. No matter how funny you are and no matter how inspiring you are, if your content is lame, it's not going to be an amazing presentation. People will say, oh, that person was really funny or they were really entertaining, but it didn't change my life. And no one's going to invite you to come speak or hire you or recommend you beyond that typically. So how do you make great content? Well, the way you make great content is to forward the thinking that's already been done. So content is about having a clear message and making sure that the people in your audience know exactly what to do when they're done hearing you, and that you share a balance of stories and education, what we would call frameworks, visuals, charts, tables, illustrations that help emphasize the point that you're making. And in a perfect world, it's original thought leadership accompanied by what we call pillar points that are written by you. These catchphrases that you made up that no one has ever heard because they came from your mind. The second part of a great presentation is charisma. It has to do with your delivery. How funny are you? How inspiring are you? How engaging are you? Being a masterful storyteller is one of the most important skills of charisma. Also learning how to use the stage, learning the psychology of laughter and how to tell jokes, learning how to use your voice to command the audience, learning how to use gestures, learning the mastery of the mechanics of the professional trade of speaking. By the way, if you ever want to learn more about coaching with our team on how to be a better presenter, just click on the link around this video and I'll set you up with a free call with one of our strategists. Third part of a great presentation is the circumstance. And this is the one that almost nobody knows about or thinks about. The setup of the room in which you are speaking has a tremendous amount to do with the experience of that event. It is 1/3 of the power of that experience and that presentation is dependent upon the circumstances of the room. Now, when we talk about circumstance, we're talking about lots of things like how close is the stage to the first row of the audience. The further the distance the stage is from the audience, the less connection you have, the less intimate the experience will be. It also includes things like the height of the ceiling. The more space there is between the tops of the heads of the people and where the ceiling is, the more energy that is lost and absorbed into empty space, rather than having that energy transmitted through the audience, creating a powerful experience. Also, the space between people in the room, right? If you have a room of 1,000 people and only 100 are there and they're all spread out, that's going to create a less than desirable experience. Other things include the time of day. The earlier you speak in the morning, if you speak very early, sometimes people aren't awake yet, or sometimes they're hungover. Or if it's late at night, they're just thinking about going to bed, or maybe they're thinking about going to the bar. So the time of day that you speak matters a lot. And then also, who's in the audience? Believe it or not, female audiences laugh a lot more than male audiences. So if you're ever in front of an all-male audience and you don't get a lot of laughter or engagement, don't be alarmed by that. That's perfectly normal and typical for most all-male audiences. All-female audiences are my favorite. Put me in front of an arena of 10,000 women at a direct sales conference, and we will literally make the walls shake with laughter and fun and have an awesome time. How well do the people in the room know each other, and how well do they feel connected to each other has a lot to do with the power of the experience. The closer they are to one another, the more impactful the presentation tends to be. The more that they are strangers or feel only distantly connected, the harder it is for you to connect with them. All of these elements are related to circumstance, which affect the connection you have with the room. So these three elements, the content, your charisma, and the circumstances of the setup, determine the connection that you have with the audience. The more you maximize each of these three areas, the stronger the connection, the more powerful the experience. The less effective you are at maximizing each of these three areas, the lower the connection will be, and the lesser the overall experience for the audience. So if you want to have an amazing presentation, you first have to have amazing content. But content alone is not enough. You want to layer on top of that the secrets of charisma. This is some of the things that we help people do for a living. It's being charming and engaging and inspiring and motivating and entertaining and funny and touching people emotionally. But then also, it's controlling the circumstances, setting up the environment. Do those three things, and I promise your presentations will go to a whole new level.